Alright, for the review, we've got point slope form and slope intercept form. So we need to look at our equation and see what they're giving us. This is our x1 or y1. This can be x2, y2. In order to do point slope, I'm going to need the slope of my line. I can get the slope by counting on my graph. Remember that slope is rise over run. So 1, 2, 3, 4. My rise is -4 because I went down 4. My run is 2. If I simplify that, I get -2. So I have everything I need to plug into this equation. Y minus 2 equals -2 times x minus 1. That's point slope form. To get this into slope intercept form, I'm going to need to take this equation, and then I'm going to distribute this -2. Alright, let me just circle that answer real quick. Now, I'm going to add 2 to each side. When I add the 2 to each side, these cancel out, and I just have y on the left. And -2x comes down, and 2 plus 2 makes 4. So that is slope intercept form. How many solutions does the following systems of equations have? So we need to know, remember that if we have parallel lines, there's no solution. If we have overlapping lines that sit right on top of each other, there's infinite. So no solution would mean same slope, different y-intercept. Infinite would mean same slope, same y-intercept. And then if both are different, there's only going to be one solution. So that would be a different slope and a different y-intercept. So if I can decide what the slopes are for these by getting them into slope intercept form, so I need to move this 2x over to the other side. This is going to be y equals 2x plus 3. So I see that my slope is 2. For this one, I'm going to have to add 4x. So that's going to give me 2y is equal to 4x plus 6. I'm going to have to take one more step. I'm going to have to divide everything by 2. And I get y is equal to 2x plus 3. And I see that my slope is 2. So same slope. Same slope. Y-intercept is 3. Y-intercept is 3. Same y-intercept. So this is going to be infinite solutions. Number 3, a humane society has 73 dogs and cats to be adopted. The number of cats is 10 more than twice the number of dogs. So 10 more than tells me I'm adding 10. Twice tells me I'm multiplying by 2. So this is telling me equals. Cats equals 10 more than twice dogs. So 2 times the dogs plus 10. So I can look through my equations and see where do I have c equal to 2d plus 10. Well, c is equal to 2d plus 10 here, and c is equal to 2d plus 10 here. Now I need to think about my other equation. It says 73 dogs and cats. So that means together, if I add up the dogs and cats, I get 73. So this one has me adding dogs and cats. This one has me subtracting. So this one is going to be A. Number 4. Line 1 passes through these 2 points. Line 2 passes through these 2 points. Which of the following statements is true about line 1 and line 2? So I see that my choices have stuff about parallel and perpendicular and same line. So in order to figure this out, I'm going to need my slope. To get my slope, I'm going to have to use my formula. And I'm going to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to subtract 5 minus negative 1 over 2 minus 0. 5 minus negative 1 gives me 6. 6 over 2 gives me 3. That's the slope for line 1. Line 2, x1, y1, x2, y2. 1 minus 5 over 2 minus 0. 1 minus 5 gives me negative 4. Negative 4 over 2 gives me negative 2. If my slopes are different, then I know that my lines are not parallel and they're not the same line. So not the same line, not parallel. Perpendicular means my slopes are opposite and reciprocal. These slopes are opposite because one is negative and one is positive, but they're not reciprocal. Reciprocal means they would be flipped, so they're not perpendicular. So they intersect but are not perpendicular. Number 5. Which of the following is true about the graph of x equals 2? X equals 2. This is 2 on my graph. Right? X equals 2 means I have a line that goes like this. Every single point, no matter where I pick a point on this graph, has an x value of 2. So this graph is a vertical line. So B is vertical. If you had an equation that was y equals 2, that would pass through a y value of 2. And every point on this line has a y of 2. That line's horizontal. So vertical lines are x equals, horizontals are y equals a number. Number 6, solve the following system. So this system is set up with an x and a y on the same side. That means we're set up to do elimination. Elimination is when we add the equations together. When I add these together, I get 5x. When I add the y's together, they cancel out and they're gone. When I add these up, I get 5. I want to solve for x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5, and I get x is equal to 1. When I solve the system, I need an x value and a y value. So I've got x. I can plug into any of my equations. I'm going to plug into the bottom one because it looks a little bit easier. I plug the 1 in for x, and then I follow order of operations. Now that I've followed order of operations, I can solve for y. So I subtract 2, and then I divide by 2, and I get that y is also 1. So my solution is 1, 1. Number 7, it says identify the ordered pair. We need to recognize that this equation is written in point-slope form. So this is telling me that my y1 is 3. So if I were to write the pair down, I have a y value of 3. And this is telling me that my x value is going to be negative 4. Because my formula has a minus sign in it, this had a plus sign. So that's telling me I need to switch my sign. So negative 4, positive 3 would be my solution. Number 8, find the x and y intercept. To find the x-intercept, we make our y 0, and we solve for x. Follow order of operations. 2 times 0 is just 0. So it's just 3x equals 24. Divide by 3, and I get x is 8. So my x-intercept is 8, 0. To get my y-intercept, I make x 0, and I solve for y. Follow order of operations. So I get 0 plus 2y equals 24. Divide by 2, and I get y is 12. So this is going to be 0, 12. Number 9. What error did the student make when starting to solve the system of equations by elimination? Here we want to add. This should be a 6x. If we add these, they cancel. That's correct. If I add these, I get 24. That's correct. So their error is here. They subtracted instead of adding.